No, 5. Sugar, sugar. Good job, guys. Hi.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has returned to training camp as a coach for Islam Makhachev's upcoming welterweight title fight against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322. Khabib has been seen actively working with his fighters, including Islam and Usman Nurmagomedov, making sure they're well prepared for their next challenges.
An interview just, I think, this week, and he broke down that he believes Islam's stand-up is a little bit easier to deal with than Bilal's because Islam has more of a traditional style for his stand-up. Do you feel like people are kind of missing some of the X factors that Islam brings with his striking?
If he's saying that, I hope that he goes in believing that, because when he gets in there with Islam, you're going to find out a whole different story because I'm sorry, they're completely different. And by no means is Islam an easy for anybody to understand. That any MMA fighter that's a striker that's not going to have an easy time with him. I've been with this kid like going on 11 years of watching him just destroy everybody on the stand.
Islam Makhachev admitted that Jack Della Maddalena will be a tough opponent, especially after seeing how well Jack performed against Belal Muhammad. He remembered Jack's earlier struggles with wrestling, but acknowledged the big improvements Jack has made by training with top-level grapplers. Islam called Jack a dangerous, championship-level fighter, but added that their fight would clearly show who the true number one is in the sport.
It's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He's good, man. He is good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see he training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Islam also shared that moving up in weight has been harder than he expected, since he's more used to cutting weight instead of adding size. Despite strength training and a tailored program, he said he's only managed to put on a couple of kilos. He explained that he doesn't want to gain weight by overeating. He prefers to add muscle through disciplined training so that his body stays strong the right way.
My life, I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, my weight stays same position, you know. I try to lift more. We do some program and like slowly we bring 2 kg right now, but I don't want to be big by food, you know, eating and not training. I want to be with like muscles, you know. I want to training and bring some muscles.
At a recent press conference, Makhachev talked about adjusting to welterweight. He said that before camp, he used to walk around at 183 to 185 pounds. But with improved training and diet, he now stays closer to 189 pounds. Islam explained that this weight allows him to feel powerful and sharp when sparring against natural welterweights. He emphasized that he doesn't need to bulk up further because his preparation already makes him ready for this division.
What is your weight now? How much did your weight change, and how did your physical condition, your physical preparation change? You know, up until last camp, I think my weight was about 83, 84. But now with the right regimen, with the right diet, my weight is now 86 and a half. Yesterday was 86 and a half. I think right now I'm where I need to be. I'm at the right weight. I'm at the place where I feel comfortable with working out, sparring, and working with the guys that usually fight at 77. To continue to gain the weight from now on is not necessarily the goal of mine. I mean, it might go up by 1 or 2 kgs in training still, but we've already done plenty of work during this camp with heavyweights to make sure to gain the proper weight that we need.
Islam also spoke about the possibility of moving back down after his first fight at welterweight. He admitted that making 155 pounds had always been tough and said the decision would depend on how his body feels afterward, especially if he keeps fighting around 85 to 86 kilos. He added that his team will carefully consider the best path forward
after the fight. So if I'm gonna go up to 83 or 84, that's possible. But if we'll go up to 85, 86, then I'm not sure. I mean, it was never an easy thing to cut weight, so we'll have to sit down with the team and we'll have to figure out what the next move is.
Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria was asked about Makhachev's move to welterweight and a possible clash with Jack Jack Della Maddalena, but he brushed it aside. Topuria made it clear that the matchup didn't concern him and said he had no interest in thinking about it.
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that. So, I don't know.
L.A. Topuria, however, did offer some advice for Jack. He suggested targeting Islam's body with straight punches to discourage takedown attempts. Topuria said consistent body shots could limit Islam's wrestling and added that he respects Jack's striking skills and the way he approaches fight.
Advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job in the striking. I like how he fights.
Former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira sees Jack Della Maddalena as a serious threat because of his patient fighting style. He noted how Jack wore down Belal Muhammad over time instead of rushing for a quick finish. Still, Oliveira expects Islam to benefit from moving up in weight, believing the added strength will improve his grappling. For Oliveira, the fight comes down to whether Jack can stay on his feet long enough to use his striking, or if Islam's control on the ground takes over.
Que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. É o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Isa vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Isa agarrar e botar pra baixo, é o cara.
Daniel Cormier also weighed in, calling this a thrilling, high-stakes fight. He said Jack's current form makes the matchup even more exciting, since Islam hasn't been tested yet at welterweight. Cormier raised questions about whether Makhachev can handle Jack's size and physicality. He pointed out that while Islam is a big lightweight, he doesn't have the same stature as Jack. It's a fantastic fight, a big-time fight, Cormier said. If Jack Della looks the way he did against Belal, this becomes a very interesting matchup because we've never seen Islam compete at 170 pounds, that's 15 pounds more than his old division. Cormier also reminded fans that Jack has shown excellent takedown defense recently, and Islam has struggled at times to ground fighters like Dustin Poirier. For that reason, Cormier feels Islam will need to sharpen his wrestling even more to control someone as dangerous as Jack.
Islam Jack is going to be a great fight, especially seeing Jack defend takedowns in the way that he did. And Islam, he struggled a little to take down Dustin Poirier. He didn't take him down as easily as he had taken down other guys. So I think that for Makhachev, he needs to really lock in on getting that wrestling ready to fight a guy in Jack Della Maddalena who showed great takedown defense. And, man, this dude's got some good boxing, especially when you're in tight with him. His hands are good in close.
Sean Brady shared that he personally supports Makhachev, since facing him one day would be a career-defining opportunity and a real test of his grappling. Still, when asked to pick a winner, he leaned toward Jack Della Maddalena. Brady said the Aussie is being overlooked and has the tools to surprise people.
Selfishly, for me, I would want Islam to win because I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing. And I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. You know, I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the underdog, I would pick Jack.
Brady also commented on how Makhachev's move to welterweight is shaking things up. He mentioned that Islam and Ilia Topuria seem to be on track for a future clash, which could affect what happens next. In Brady's view, if Islam loses, he'll likely return to lightweight. But if he wins, he might stay at welterweight for a while, maybe defend the belt a couple of times before giving it up or even retiring from the sport.
To be honest, Islam coming up is what kind of fucked up this whole division in the first place, you know, but you can't be mad at him. If I was in that situation, I'd probably be doing the same thing. But I know him and Topuria are trying to set something up. If he wins, I think he's staying at 170. I think the chances of him, I think if he loses, there's a bigger chance of him going back down to 155, and then maybe them still doing that Ilya Topuria fight. That's how I think of it. I think if he wins at 170, he'll defend it 1 or 2 times, and then he'll bounce from there. Yeah, and vacate or retire. Like those guys, they're not fighting very late into their 30s. They're retiring early, so I could see that being the case.
Featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski also analyzed the fight. He pointed to Jack Della Maddalena's performance against Belal Muhammad as perfect preparation for Makhachev. Volkanovski said that defending takedowns in that fight gave Jack a huge mental boost. He believes Jack's wrestling defense is now strong enough that even elite grapplers will find it tough to control him, both in training and in actual competition.
Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Belal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns. Because again, every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, worried about, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, I guarantee you if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. Only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding him down.
That's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this potential clash at UFC 322? Share your predictions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on the latest UFC matchups.